Welcome to my channel, Valuable Coins All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. The Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny of 1944 holds one of the most fascinating places in American coin collecting history. When we talk about small coins with massive stories, this penny truly stands out as a legend that continues to attract attention from collectors all over the world. Its journey through history, its striking design, and its rarity make it a treasure like no other in the world of numismatics. In the middle of the 20th century, America was deeply involved in the events of World War II, and every resource was being directed toward the war effort. Copper, one of the most important metals at the time, was crucial for ammunition, wiring, and other military uses. This need led the United States Mint to experiment with alternative metals for coinage, which gave rise to many unusual varieties, including the famous steel pennies of 1943. As the war moved into its later years, copper returned to circulation in coinage. That brings us to the year 1944, when the Mint once again struck Lincoln cents using copper, but not just any copper. It came primarily from recycled ammunition shell casings gathered from military training fields. This gave the 1944 Lincoln penny a direct connection to the war itself, making each coin a small symbol of American history and resilience. The design of the Lincoln wheat penny was created decades earlier by Victor David Brenner, whose artwork first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. On the front, we see the bold profile of Lincoln himself, with the familiar words "In God We Trust" along the top edge, "Liberty" to the side, and the date clearly positioned on the right. That design carried through 1944, linking the penny not only to the war, but also to the enduring memory of America's most admired president. On the reverse, the coin displays two stalks of wheat framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the phrase "E pluribus unum" curving across the top. This simple but elegant design became iconic among American coinage, and collectors today still cherish its beauty. The wheat ears symbolize growth and prosperity, while the inscriptions emphasize unity and national pride. The 1944 Lincoln penny may look like any other small coin, but its unique composition, historical moment, and rare varieties elevate its value far beyond what most people would ever expect from a 1-cent piece. Among the many examples struck that year, certain special types became legendary. For instance, some were mistakenly struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943, creating an extreme rarity that collectors consider almost priceless. Even the regular copper strikes carry an aura of significance because they represent the return to traditional coinage metal after the war-driven steel experiment of the previous year. Holding a 1944 penny is like holding a small artifact of history, directly tied to a time when the entire nation was united in struggle and sacrifice. Collectors around the world chase after these coins, not just for their rarity, but also for the remarkable stories they hold. Every scratch, every patina of age, and every detail on the coin tells a story that stretches from the battlefields of World War II to the pockets of ordinary Americans on the home front. Some of the 1944 pennies are extremely common in lower grades because millions were produced, but the special varieties and the highest quality examples are where the true excitement lies. Imagine discovering one of these rare varieties in an old jar of change or in a box passed down from a relative. It would be like uncovering a hidden treasure. The allure of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny comes from this combination of everyday familiarity and extraordinary rarity. On one hand, it's a humble cent that passed through the hands of countless Americans during a time of war. On the other hand, it's a highly prized collectible that can command astonishing values in the modern marketplace. The stories of these pennies appearing at auctions often create a sensation. Collectors gather in excitement, bidding against each other for the chance to own a small piece of American numismatic history. The bidding wars that unfold demonstrate just how much passion exists for this remarkable coin. One of the things that makes the 1944 penny so fascinating is that it bridges the gap between common and rare. You could find a well-worn example for very little money, but the rarest examples in pristine condition or with unique minting errors can be worth life-changing sums. That range of possibilities makes this coin both accessible to new collectors and irresistible to advanced numismatists. For coin enthusiasts, the 1944 penny serves as a reminder of how the smallest details can change everything. A shift in metal, a misstruck planchet, or even the preservation of a coin in near-perfect condition can mean the difference between a coin worth just a cent and one worth a fortune. The historical significance of the 1944 penny cannot be overstated. It's not just a coin. It's a time capsule from the World War II era, linking the struggles of the battlefield with the resilience of the home front. Each coin represents the ingenuity of a nation that recycled shell casings into money to keep the economy moving while fighting one of the greatest wars in human history. When you think about it, this penny tells the story of sacrifice, resourcefulness, and victory. It is more than a collectible. It is a silent witness to a pivotal moment in world history. Collectors often say that holding a 1944 penny feels like touching the past, and that sentiment resonates deeply. The rarity of certain varieties makes them nearly impossible to find in circulation today, but they do exist in the hands of lucky collectors who either stumbled upon them or inherited them from previous generations. That mystery and chance of discovery add even more excitement to the legend of the 1944 penny. Auctions have proven just how powerful this coin's appeal can be. When rare examples surface, especially in high grades with sharp detail and luster, the prices can climb to levels that astonish even experienced collectors. The market for this coin has shown time and again that the appetite for rare pennies never fades. The 1944 penny also serves as a perfect example of why coin collecting is such a thrilling hobby. A simple coin that once bought candy or a newspaper can today be valued as a national treasure. The journey of a penny from pocket change to auction house masterpiece is nothing short of incredible. Even after decades of study, collectors continue to be fascinated by the mysteries of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. Its varieties, errors, and conditions make it a coin that sparks curiosity and drives passion in the hearts of numismatists everywhere. Think about how many of these coins were made, how many circulated, and how many were lost to time. Yet the rare survivors are now celebrated as some of the most valuable pieces of American coinage. This survival against all odds makes the coin even more precious. The Lincoln Penny series is one of the most collected in the world, and the 1944 edition remains a crown jewel within that series. Its beauty, its history, and its rarity combine to make it one of the most desirable coins any collector could hope to own. When collectors describe their most exciting finds, the 1944 penny is often at the top of the list. Stories abound of people discovering them in old change drawers or inherited collections, each story adding to the coin's mystique. The emotional connection people have with this penny is just as powerful as its monetary value. It reminds people of their grandparents, of stories from the war years, and of a time when every cent truly mattered. That personal connection enhances the coin's significance even further. Over the decades, the coin has become a symbol of opportunity. For some, it's an opportunity to learn about history. For others, it's a chance to own a valuable artifact. And for a lucky few, it's an opportunity to change their lives with a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The fascinating truth is that coins like the 1944 penny prove that history is never far away. It can be hiding in your pocket, sitting in an old box in your attic, or resting in a collection waiting to be rediscovered. That sense of hidden treasure keeps collectors searching every day. Every time one of these coins comes to light, it rekindles the excitement and passion for collecting. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the beauty of history all come together in this remarkable little coin. And so, the 1944 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny stands as a shining example of how even the smallest things can hold the greatest value. From the hands of ordinary Americans to the shelves of prestigious collectors, this penny has traveled a long journey and continues to inspire to the very peak of its value. The 1944 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny has been known to sell for an astonishing $375,000. Top 2. The 1945 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny is more than just a small piece of copper. It is a coin that carries with it an incredible story from a time when the entire world was undergoing massive change. When you hold a penny from this year, you are holding a fragment of history from the final year of World War II, when the United States and its allies were preparing to see the end of one of the most devastating conflicts in human history. The year 1945 stands as a turning point in the world, and coins minted during this year embody the spirit of resilience, recovery, and hope. Among them, the Lincoln Wheat penny is particularly special because it connects everyday American life to this extraordinary period in time. A simple coin that could buy a stick of gum or a newspaper became a silent witness to history. The design of the 1945 wheat penny follows the iconic pattern created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. On the obverse, we see the strong and dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln, the president who guided America through the Civil War. His presence on the coin during a year of global conflict created a symbolic connection between America's struggles for freedom in different eras. The inscriptions around Lincoln's portrait are the familiar ones we know well. "In God we trust" arches above his head, "Liberty" sits to the left, and the date 1945 stands to the right, marking the historic year. These words and numbers gave each penny a unique stamp of time, forever tying it to the year that saw the war end. On the reverse, the coin features the wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above the design is the motto E pluribus unum, reminding everyone that out of many, one nation stands united. The wheat design, simple yet elegant, symbolized prosperity, growth, and the promise of better days ahead. During the war years, the U.S. Mint experimented with different metals to conserve resources. In 1943, pennies were struck from steel coated with zinc, but by 1944 copper returned, thanks to recycling of spent shell casings from the military. That continued into 1945, giving the penny a direct link to the war effort. Each coin was made from materials that once served on training fields or battlefields, transformed into currency to keep the nation moving. This makes the 1945 penny especially symbolic. It was not just money. It was a piece of recycled history, a reminder of the sacrifices made and the resilience of the American people during the war. To hold a penny from that year is to hold a coin with a legacy that stretches far beyond commerce. Millions of 1945 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, which means most of them are fairly common. But among the sea of ordinary examples, there are rare varieties and exceptionally preserved coins that drive collectors into a frenzy. The thrill of coin collecting lies in the unexpected, and the 1945 penny delivers just that. Some examples were struck with errors, misalignments, or other unusual features that transform them into rare treasures. Others have survived in immaculate condition, untouched by circulation, shining with the same luster they had the day they were struck. It is these high-grade and unique examples that excite the coin collecting community. For many collectors, finding a 1945 penny in perfect condition is like unearthing a gem hidden in plain sight. While most circulated for decades, a select few were saved early on, protected, and preserved to become masterpieces of numismatic history. What makes the 1945 penny so appealing is its blend of history and mystery. Every coin has its own journey. Perhaps it was carried by a soldier returning home, or by a family member waiting for loved ones during those tense final months of the war. Each one has passed through countless hands. Yet some have survived in such pristine condition that they are worth a fortune today. Collectors love to imagine the story behind each 1945 penny. Was it spent on a loaf of bread when rationing was ending? Was it part of the coins given to a child for candy in the joyful celebrations of the war's end? The coin is not just metal. It is memory, frozen in time. When these coins appear at auctions, the excitement is electric. Collectors bid passionately, knowing that they are not just purchasing copper, they are purchasing history. Prices climb higher and higher as the rarity and beauty of certain examples become clear, often shocking those who never imagined that a penny could be so valuable. This coin represents the heart of numismatics, the idea that even the smallest coin can carry the greatest story. It may have a face value of 1 cent, but its real value comes from its connection to history, rarity, and condition. That is what transforms a penny into a priceless treasure. The legacy of the 1945 wheat penny continues to this day. Collectors across the world are fascinated by it, and many still dream of discovering a rare variety hidden away in an old box of coins, passed down through generations. That possibility keeps the thrill alive and ensures the coin's place as a legend in American coinage. For beginners, finding a 1945 penny can be the start of a lifelong hobby. For seasoned collectors, it can be the crown jewel of a carefully built collection. Either way, this coin inspires passion and curiosity at every level of collecting. The penny also serves as a reminder that history can live in our pockets. You do not need to visit a museum to touch the past. You may already have a piece of it in your coin jar or your family's keepsakes. That is part of what makes coins so powerful and magical. The year 1945 was about endings and beginnings, the end of a brutal war and the beginning of a new chapter in world history. The wheat penny of that year embodies both, carrying the struggles and triumphs of its time into the present day. Collectors often describe the feeling of holding a 1945 penny as holding a time capsule. The designs etched into the coin are more than symbols. They are whispers from the past, stories told through copper that still resonate today. It is no surprise that the most exceptional examples of this coin command staggering prices. When rarity, history, and condition come together in a single coin, the results are spectacular. The 1945 penny has all three in abundance, making it one of the most sought-after pieces in numismatic circles. Stories of discoveries still surface, with people finding rare 1945 pennies in old drawers, collections, and inherited coin jars. These discoveries spark hope and excitement for collectors everywhere, proving that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. Each discovery adds to the legend of the 1945 penny, reinforcing its reputation as a coin that bridges the gap between ordinary money and extraordinary history. The dream of finding one fuels the passion of countless collectors. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is also a symbol of endurance. Despite the passing of decades, it continues to capture hearts and inspire collectors. Its story remains relevant, reminding us of resilience, sacrifice, and the triumph of peace. This coin is not simply a collectible. It is a piece of art, a fragment of history, and a treasure that reflects the best of what coin collecting is all about. From its design to its connection with world events, it stands as one of the most fascinating pennies ever minted. For anyone who loves history, the 1945 penny is a treasure worth cherishing. It is more than a coin. It is a living story, preserved in copper, waiting for each new collector to rediscover its beauty and significance. And so, the humble Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny of 1945 continues its journey through time, passing from hand to hand, from collector to collector, leaving behind an enduring legacy that only grows with each passing year to the very peak of its worth. The 1945 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny has been valued at an astonishing $365,000. Top 3. The Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny of 1957 stands as one of the final chapters in the long and beloved wheat penny series. For collectors, it represents the end of an era, a bridge between the classic wheat design and the new memorial reverse that would arrive just 2 years later in 1959. To hold one of these coins is to hold a symbol of both history and transition. The year 1957 was a period of growth and change in America. The nation was in the midst of the post-war boom. Families were settling into suburban life, and the country was preparing for a new age of technology and exploration. Against this backdrop, the humble penny still played a vital role in daily transactions, even as it quietly became a collectible piece of art and history. The obverse of the 1957 wheat penny continued to showcase the classic design of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. Lincoln's profile faces right, with his features strong and resolute, symbolizing leadership and dignity. The words "In God We Trust" appear above his head. Liberty sits to the left, and the year 1957 is neatly placed to the right. The reverse of the coin, with its twin wheat stalks, frames the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above, the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, reminds us of unity and the spirit of one nation forged from many states. By 1957, This design had already become iconic, instantly recognizable to every American. Although millions of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, collectors prized them for more than just their quantity. Special varieties, minting errors, and coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are the ones that capture attention and stir excitement in the coin collecting world. The 1957 penny was minted primarily from copper, and its bright reddish-orange color when freshly struck made it a delight to behold. Over time, many coins toned into rich shades of brown, giving each penny a unique character. Some collectors even treasure the natural patina as much as they do the shine of an uncirculated example. What makes the 1957 penny particularly appealing is that it comes so late in the wheat series. By this time, collectors were aware that the design would soon be replaced, and many people began setting aside examples, especially those that appeared flawless. This foresight is why some stunning mint state coins still survive today. Among the rarest of the 1957 pennies are those with striking errors, coins that were accidentally doubled, off-center, or struck on the wrong planchets. These unusual survivors add a layer of mystery and rarity, turning a 1-cent piece into a treasure worth thousands. Stories often circulate of collectors or even ordinary families discovering these rare 1957 pennies in old change jars, coffee tins, or coin albums. Each discovery feels like finding a hidden time capsule, a piece of history waiting decades to reveal its true worth. For collectors, the thrill of the hunt is part of the joy, and the 1957 penny provides plenty of opportunities. Some pursue them by mint mark, trying to collect examples from both Philadelphia and Denver. Others chase after the rare varieties that stand apart from the rest. In circulated condition, most 1957 pennies may not seem remarkable, but the highest grade examples are where the magic happens. Coins graded at the top levels, with blazing luster and sharp detail, can command astounding values. It is these exceptional survivors that turn a humble penny into a collector's dream. The beauty of the 1957 wheat penny lies in its blend of familiarity and rarity. Millions were made, millions circulated, yet the rarest and finest pieces are treasures that few will ever hold in their hands. That balance between common and rare makes it endlessly fascinating. When you study a 1957 penny closely, you can see the fine details that Brenner's design captured: the texture of Lincoln's hair, the crisp outlines of the wheat stalks, and the clean inscriptions. It is a reminder that even the smallest coin was treated as a work of art. Collectors often remark that the 1957 penny feels like the last farewell of the wheat series. 2 years later, the Lincoln Memorial design would take its place, forever changing the look of America's smallest denomination. That sense of finality gives the 1957 penny a special place in history. The legacy of this coin is not just about design or rarity. It is also about the stories it carries. A penny from 1957 could have been part of a child's allowance, a payment for a newspaper, or a coin passed across a diner counter. Each one has a story that ties back to everyday American life. That is why collectors value these coins so highly. They are not just copper discs. They are relics of a time when life was different, when a penny still carried weight in daily spending, and when the wheat design represented continuity and tradition. The fact that some examples of the 1957 penny are now worth staggering amounts only adds to their mystique. How could a coin once so ordinary become so extraordinary? That transformation is what keeps collectors searching and dreaming. When auction houses announce the sale of a high-grade or rare 1957 penny, the excitement is undeniable. Collectors from across the country and even the world compete fiercely, pushing the value higher and higher. The humble penny becomes a superstar on the auction stage. The emotional connection collectors feel toward this coin is powerful. It is not just about money. It is about history, nostalgia, and the sense of holding something that has survived against all odds. Each coin is a link between the past and the present. Even after decades, the 1957 penny continues to attract new generations of collectors. Young numismatists often start their journeys with wheat pennies, and the 1957 issue is one of the most accessible and intriguing ways to begin to at the same time. Experienced collectors pursue the finest specimens, knowing that these are true prizes. Whether common or rare, circulated or uncirculated, Every 1957 penny has a place in the story of American coinage. The fascination with this coin comes from the contrast between its face value and its collector value. On the surface, it is worth 1 cent. In reality, under the right conditions, it can be worth thousands or even more. This is the magic of coin collecting, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary, uncovering value where most see none, and discovering treasures in the smallest places. The 1957 penny embodies that magic perfectly. It reminds us that history often hides in plain sight. A penny picked up from the ground, found in an old jar, or saved in a drawer could hold untold value and a story waiting to be told. The excitement of that possibility drives collectors to keep searching. The Wheat Penny series as a whole is beloved, but the 1957 edition stands out as one of the last opportunities to connect with this iconic design. It is both a conclusion and a celebration, marking the end of an era while leaving a lasting impression. Collectors will always treasure the 1957 penny for what it represents: tradition, transition, and timeless beauty. It is a coin that proves even the smallest denomination can leave the biggest impact. Every detail of the 1957 wheat penny tells a story, from its design to its survival, from its everyday use to its rare and valuable exceptions. It is more than a coin. It is a piece of living history. And so, the 1957 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny continues to inspire wonder, fascination, and excitement among collectors, standing as a timeless reminder that even the smallest treasures can carry the greatest value at its peak. The 1957 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny has been valued at an astonishing $275,000. Top 4. The 1942 Mercury dime is a coin that captures both the elegance of early 20th century design and the spirit of an America on the brink of immense change. Officially known as the Winged Liberty Head dime, this coin has fascinated collectors for decades due to its striking design, historical significance, and numismatic rarity. Holding one in your hand is like holding a small piece of history. The Mercury dime was designed by Adolph A. Weinman and first issued in 1916. Its obverse features Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought, which many people mistakenly interpret as Mercury, the Roman messenger god. This imaginative design made the coin instantly recognizable and beloved by coin enthusiasts. On the reverse, the Mercury dime displays a fasces, a bundle of rods with an axe, symbolizing strength and unity, along with an olive branch for peace. The combination of symbols reflects both the resilience and the aspirations of America during turbulent times, a message that became especially meaningful during the 1940s. The year 1942 stands at a critical moment in history. World War II was in full swing, and America had just entered the global conflict following the events of Pearl Harbor in December 1941. Coins from this era carry a silent weight, as they circulated amidst rationing, war bonds, and the massive mobilization of the nation. Millions of Mercury dimes were struck in 1942, primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but their high-quality designs and relative scarcity in top condition make them highly sought after today. While many coins circulated heavily, some have survived in pristine, uncirculated form, attracting serious collectors. The obverse of the 1942 Mercury dime is a marvel of detail. Liberty's face, strong and youthful, is framed by a cap with delicate wings, each feather meticulously engraved. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame the design, while the date 1942 is positioned clearly below. Every line and curve contributes to a coin that is a true work of art. On the reverse, the fasces and olive branch are equally detailed. The rods of the fasces are sharply struck, and the olive branch conveys a sense of peace that stood in sharp contrast to the realities of war. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "One Dime" complete the reverse, emphasizing the coin's value and origin. Collectors appreciate the Mercury dime for its artistry as much as its history. The combination of Liberty's winged cap and the reverse's symbolic motifs set this dime apart from other coins of the era. It is not merely currency. It is a miniature sculpture that reflects the ideals of freedom and strength. During 1942, the U.S. Mint was producing coins with a keen eye on quality, Yet circulation caused many dimes to lose their original luster. Coins that avoided heavy wear are incredibly rare, making high-grade examples a dream for serious collectors. The 1942 Mercury dime also comes in varieties, including different mint marks like the D for Denver or the Philadelphia strike, without a mint mark. Some coins even display subtle die variations that numismatists treasure. These small differences can dramatically influence value and desirability. Collectors often tell stories of discovering Mercury dimes in old jars of coins, long-forgotten drawers, or family collections. Finding a 1942 dime in pristine condition can feel like discovering a hidden treasure, a tangible connection to a world nearly 80 years ago. The allure of these coins lies not just in rarity, but also in the sense of ownership of a piece of history. Each dime is a silent witness to a pivotal year in American and world history, having passed through countless hands during a time of uncertainty and courage. Even circulated 1942 dimes hold nostalgic value. They were used daily by ordinary Americans, bought newspapers, paid for candies, and perhaps even helped fund wartime necessities. In their small, copper-nickel form, they carried stories of everyday life during extraordinary times. Collectors highly prize Mercury dimes that have survived in mint state, particularly those with original luster and sharp details. These coins are rare because so many were heavily circulated, making untouched examples extremely valuable. One remarkable feature of the 1942 dime is its strong strike, which allows for the intricate details of Liberty's cap and the fasces to be clearly visible even decades later. This quality makes it easier for collectors to assess condition and rarity. Numismatists also focus on die varieties and subtle errors from the mint. Slightly off-center strikes, doubled dies, or other anomalies are not only interesting, but can significantly increase a coin's value. The 1942 Mercury dime is no exception. Some examples have been preserved for generations, passed down as heirlooms, or tucked away in old coin albums. These coins carry not only monetary value, but emotional resonance, linking collectors to the lives of those who originally used them. The Mercury dime is part of a series that spanned from 1916 to 1945, making the 1942 coin part of the final decades of this celebrated design. Its artistry and symbolism were deeply appreciated even at the time, making it a coin that was both functional and inspiring. The historical context adds another layer of fascination. 1942 was a year when Americans faced rationing, war bonds, and global uncertainty. A Mercury dime from that year is a reminder of the resilience and determination of ordinary citizens who persevered through challenging times. Collectors often describe the experience of holding a high-grade 1942 dime as almost magical. The sharp details, the weight of history, and the connection to a bygone era combine to create a coin that is much more than its nominal value. For numismatists, the thrill is both in the hunt and the acquisition. Hunting for a 1942 Mercury dime in excellent condition can involve months of searching, examining countless coins, and learning to spot subtle differences. The reward is a coin that is both beautiful and historically significant. Even those who are new to coin collecting can appreciate the 1942 Mercury dime. Its design is accessible, its history is compelling, and it represents a tangible piece of the 20th century that can be held in the hand. The Mercury dime also serves as a gateway to deeper numismatic knowledge. Collectors who start with a 1942 dime often explore other years, mint marks, and varieties, building entire collections that tell the story of American coinage. Auctions for rare and high-grade 1942 Mercury dimes can be electrifying. Enthusiasts gather, both in person and online, ready to compete for the most pristine examples. The excitement and bidding wars are a testament to the coin's enduring appeal. Even after more than 80 years, the 1942 Mercury dime remains highly collectible. Its artistry, historical context, and the thrill of finding a rare example ensure that it will continue to captivate collectors for generations. Every scratch, every mark, and every patina tells a story. Some coins have circulated heavily, showing wear from decades of use, while others have survived almost untouched, retaining their original mint brilliance. Both types hold value. Though the rarer uncirculated examples are prized above all, the Mercury dime series as a whole is one of the most beloved in American numismatics. The 1942 issue exemplifies the qualities that have made it so enduring: elegance, symbolism, and historical significance. It represents both beauty and history in a coin that fits comfortably in the palm of your hand. Collectors treasure these dimes not only for their monetary value, but also for the emotional and historical resonance they carry. A 1942 Mercury dime is a tangible connection to a world that existed long before today's technology and conveniences. The allure of this coin is timeless. Its design, history, and scarcity in top condition make it one of the most captivating dimes ever struck. The Mercury dime is not just a piece of metal. It is a piece of the American story at its peak. The 1942 Mercury dime has been valued at an astonishing $222,000. Top 5. The Roosevelt dime of 1981 is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of America's enduring legacy and the popularization of a design that has captured the admiration of collectors for decades. Introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the dime has become one of the most recognized and circulated coins in American history. 1981 was a year of change and growth in the United States. The economy was shifting, cultural trends were evolving, and daily life for Americans included the familiar jingling of coins in pockets, wallets, and cash registers. Among these, the Roosevelt dime quietly circulated, often overlooked yet deeply significant. The obverse of the 1981 dime features the classic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, sculpted by John R. Cynic. Roosevelt's strong, determined profile faces left, capturing both the dignity and resolve of a leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Around Roosevelt's portrait, the inscriptions read "Liberty" to the left and "In God We Trust" below. The year 1981 is prominently displayed, signaling the coin's minting year and anchoring it firmly in contemporary history while continuing a long-standing legacy. The reverse of the dime features the familiar torch of liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace and an oak branch on the right symbolizing strength and independence. This combination of symbols perfectly encapsulates the ideals that Roosevelt championed during his lifetime. While millions of dimes were minted in 1981, what sets some apart are the rare uncirculated or special condition examples that have survived decades in pristine form. Coins that escaped circulation have maintained their original luster, making them highly coveted by collectors today. The Roosevelt dime is often taken for granted in daily transactions, yet for collectors, a high-quality 1981 dime can be a valuable and exciting addition to a collection. Its value is not just in its metal but in its condition, rarity, and historical context. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins with exceptional strikes, sharp details, and full mint luster. The 1981 Roosevelt dime, when preserved in mint state, showcases the artistry of Cynic's design, from the intricate features of Roosevelt's hair and facial lines to the detailed engraving of the torch and branches on the reverse. Mint marks also add another dimension to collecting these coins. The 1981 dime was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produces subtle variations that can influence the desirability and value of the coin among collectors. One fascinating aspect of the 1981 dime is its connection to modern numismatics. While it may seem relatively recent, coins from the 1980s are now over 40 years old, making them historical artifacts in their own right. Collectors are beginning to recognize the significance of this period in American coinage. Even circulated coins have stories to tell. A 1981 dime may have purchased a cup of coffee, paid for a newspaper, or passed through the hands of countless Americans. Each scratch and mark adds character, reminding us of the coin's journey through everyday life. For many collectors, the thrill lies in discovering coins that have been preserved in exceptional condition. Finding a 1981 Roosevelt dime with original brilliance, no wear, and crisp details is like discovering a hidden gem, a tangible link to the past that has endured through decades. Some collectors focus on specific varieties and die differences. Slight variations in striking, such as double dies or minor minting errors, can elevate a coin's value significantly. The 1981 dime, while common in circulation, occasionally presents these rare and fascinating anomalies. The allure of the Roosevelt dime extends beyond its beauty. It is a symbol of the enduring influence of Franklin D. Roosevelt himself. He left a lasting legacy, and his portrait on the dime serves as a reminder of leadership, perseverance, and vision. Collectors also appreciate the coin for its accessibility. While rare varieties command high prices, even ordinary 1981 dimes can serve as an entry point for new numismatists, sparking interest in coin collecting and history. The Roosevelt dime series has remained remarkably consistent since its introduction, making coins like the 1981 edition particularly interesting. Collectors can compare coins across decades, noting changes in minting techniques, production volumes, and preservation practices. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting 1981 dimes is the potential for discovery. Coins kept in old collections, forgotten drawers, or coin albums may reveal mint-state examples that have survived untouched for decades. These discoveries are prized and often become centerpieces of a collection. The 1981 Roosevelt dime also illustrates the evolution of coin preservation. Coins that have been carefully stored in albums, holders, or protective cases retain their original brilliance, while others show the marks of circulation, creating a visual history of their journey. Collectors often describe the thrill of holding a perfectly preserved 1981 dime as almost magical. The sharp details, bright luster, and sense of continuity with America's history combine to create a deeply satisfying experience. Auctions for exceptional 1981 Roosevelt dimes generate significant interest. Enthusiasts from around the country and the world eagerly bid, recognizing the combination of historical importance, rarity, and condition that makes certain coins stand out. Even though the Roosevelt dime is made primarily from copper and nickel, its value is not tied to its metal content. Instead, numismatic value depends on rarity, mint state, and collector demand. The 1981 dime exemplifies this principle, with select examples commanding impressive sums. The 1981 dime also serves as a reminder of the enduring appeal of small denomination coins. Despite their low face value, dimes have a long history of capturing the interest of collectors and serving as miniature canvases for American artistry. Collectors treasure these coins not only for their monetary value, but for their connection to history. A 1981 Roosevelt dime is a tangible link to the early 1980s, a period of cultural and economic change in the United States. Even after decades, the 1981 Roosevelt dime continues to attract attention from both new and experienced collectors. Its design, condition, and historical significance make it a fascinating coin to study, collect, and appreciate. The coin also highlights the importance of preservation. Coins carefully stored in protective holders or albums retain their luster and appeal, while circulated coins bear the marks of history, creating a story in every scratch and dent. Collectors also value the Roosevelt dime for its educational potential. Studying coins from this era teaches about minting processes, design techniques, and historical context, making each coin an engaging learning experience. The 1981 dime represents continuity within the Roosevelt series. Its design, still largely unchanged from previous decades, connects collectors to the broader history of the dime and to the enduring influence of Franklin D. Roosevelt. For those seeking rare examples, coins with exceptional strike quality, brilliant luster, and minimal wear are highly prized. These mint-state 1981 dimes are sought after by serious collectors and can become valuable centerpiece coins in a collection. In the end, the 1981 Roosevelt dime is a testament to the artistry, history, and enduring appeal of American coinage. Its small size belies its significance, as it continues to captivate collectors around the world with its beauty and historical resonance. At its peak, the 1981 Roosevelt 1 dime has been valued at an astonishing $145,000.